time. I got it this time. Before it got too far, I caught the fact that the mic was muted. As I was saying, welcome one and all to Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 513. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn, here as always, with suspenders set to maximum stun. Got a great show for you today. We're going to be playing some more Doom. I think we're getting close to the end of this game, but I thought that last week, and we still had a lot more to go, so I don't know how much longer we're going to be playing this game, but we are well on our way through it. I have been preoccupied. Where are my glasses? I know where they were. I was going to get them, so there they are. I have been preoccupied all week with trying to get this Fallout 2 video done. It has been just, it has been an albatross along the neck. I don't know. Junk says, where have you been? We missed you. Yeah, no. Okay, so I haven't done any videos since Monday. And the reason for that is because I sat down to do this video on Redding for Fallout 2. And it took me 4 hours to shoot the footage for the video, as I talked about last week. But I figure, well, you know, after I record the narration and I edit it down a little bit and I remove a lot of the battle to kind of, you know, spice it up, it'll be less than that. It'll be less than that. And it was, it still turned into an hour and 40 minutes long. So that's basically 3 days worth of content. I mean, if I had done a 30-minute video every single day, I would have produced a video every day for the past 3 days, which I haven't done. So it's been a complicated video to do. Reading is a very interesting location with a lot of pop culture references. Holy cow. It's like they went into this game with the sole goal of cramming as many pop culture references into a town as humanly possible. That's what I'm thinking, because it's like half the video is me just explaining pop culture references, whether it's from television, movies, music, or even from novels and poetry from the 18th century. Miss Ox, glad to see you, says South Stars. Thank you very much, South Stars. Great to have you on the program. Thomas D says glasses. Yes, I know this is my natural state. I had laser surgery done many years ago, well over a decade ago, and I can see fine 20/20 vision, but I still see better with the glasses on, and it's helping me read the text. I'm trying to read small text on the screen over there. It's better than me getting close, like inching close to the screen and reading like this. I figure, well, I'll just put on my glasses, and that's a little bit better. Ash Malachi, oh, here I am doing it anyway. Ash Malachi says, good evening, Oxhorn. Thank you, Ash Malachi. Brian Sanchez says, hey, Ox, have you thought at all about whether you're going to play Emily or Corvo in Dishonored 2? I didn't even know I had the choice. You can choose whom you're going to play in Dishonored 2. I haven't looked anything up. I'm going into all of these games completely blind because I don't want the game spoiled for me. I don't even know what to expect. So now I know that I can choose the character I want to play. Okay. Well, we'll see, Brian. We'll see. Good to see all of the mods in the chat today. Brian again says, OMG Ox, did you see those die-cast trucks? Yes. Yes, and I'm angry. Bethesda, why? Why do you have to keep coming out with awesome die-cast vehicles? My shelves are only so big. I don't have room for them anymore. I'm done. I'm already getting shipments of crap that I bought a year ago that they just now shipped out. I'm getting shipments of stuff that I bought back in July of last year. And now, you know, my shelf is completely full. I don't have anywhere for any of this. And so, like this, right? It's on my desk because I don't have any room for it anymore. I love it. It's great. It's one of the best little things I've got, but I wouldn't buy it now because I don't have any room for it. There's no room on that shelf for it. And like my collection is just, it's out of control and I need some help. But look at this thing. Isn't it cool? Adam Atlas. They did a really good job of it with this thing. It's high quality. It's pretty just great. I can't even think of anything to criticize about it. It's amazing. The Dark Seraph says, did you ever hear of Murphy's Law? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Well, how about Cole's Law? It's thinly sliced cabbage. Oh, man. Thank you, the Dark Seraph. I'm so glad you're in the chat today. It's always the Dark Seraph, too. It's always him. The Truck and Vapor says, hey, Ox, my man, hope you're well. I am doing really well. I had a late dinner, so I'm kind of, my body is still processing things, so if I have to stop to catch my breath, that's why. And I thought I would be able to get my video rendering before the show started so that I would at least have that done, but no. I still have to put in the music and do a little bit of sound editing before I can set it to render, so it's going to be a late night. But I'll have it done. It'll be done by the end of the day. And I'm very glad about that. Charles Borden says, cool statue, Ox. Fallout meets Atlas Shrugged. Yeah, no, they did a really good job of that. There are a few others. I thought you were playing Doom tonight, says Kevin. I am playing Doom tonight. I said so. Did I say it wrong? Do I not have Doom on my... No, I do. I have broadcast settings set to Doom. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing Doom tonight. Oh, you mean in terms of Dishonored? Yeah, well, I play Dishonored on Mondays. Mondays I've been playing through Dishonored. We beat Dishonored 1 last Monday, and we started going through the DLCs. We got to play as Dowd in my last broadcast, which was a lot of fun. And once we finish the DLCs for Dishonored, we'll move on to Dishonored 2. You know, like, you love my jokes as the Dark Seraph. I am so glad you're here, the Dark Seraph. You really add something to the show, just a certain something you add to this show. And I'm so glad we have that certain something. Mythic says, rough week this week from hectic weather and even a tornado touching down on my hometown. Wasn't too bad, thank God. But it's nice to have a great end to this hell of a week with the show. Cheers. Wow. Well, my friend, I'm glad. I hope everyone is safe. Tornado touching down in chat or in town. Sorry to hear about that, but I'm glad you're able to come here to vent. Get rid of all those frustrations. Your thumbnail says Dishonored. Did I forget to upload this thumbnail? I made the thumbnail, and I forgot to upload the thumbnail. Oh. See, this is what it's been like. I've been working on this. Hold on, I can't see it. 1 second. All right, where is it? I made the doggone thumbnail. 513. There it is. Took the time to make the thumbnail and forgot to upload it. There we go. Okay, the thumbnail has been appropriately updated. A little bit late, but now most newcomers to the program will see the correct thumbnail. I need to set something on fire and drink something alcoholic. That's the state I'm at right now. Here's the alcoholic thing. Cheers. Oh, look at that. I think I poured too much. Guess I have to drink it. Oh, look. Combustible leaves. How did that get there? Feeling good. So glad you guys are here with me today. We're going to have a great show. It's Q&A time here on Scotch and Smoke Rings. I did something new last week. I played a video game during the Q&A portion. I don't know if people like that or not. So we're going back to the normal way of doing things. A Q&A, just my face and your comments for the first hour. We'll get to the gameplay in a bit. Stefan Whittle says, good evening, Oxhorn. One of your old Fallout New Vegas Dead Money videos came to my rescue big time today and helped me finish it. Thank you. Looking forward to tonight's show. Thank you very much for watching, Steven, and I'm so glad that you enjoyed Dead Money. I have one regret with my Dead Money series, and that's that I didn't do an intro video for it. It was the very first DLC series I did. I actually take that back. I did Operation Anchorage first, was the first DLC series I did, and even then I rushed through it and turned it into one video. I would do that over again as well if I could. But I didn't make an intro, a musical animated intro to Dead Money. And I have so many ideas for what I would do. I would make a cool one, but it's done. The series is done. I can't do it now. All right, forget this. I find myself inching closer to the monitor anyway. Thomas D says, I feel that pour. I'm going to pour myself some too. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one drinking tonight. Doyle Status says, Ox, I love your Obra Dinn videos. I wish you played Dishonored with violence, lol. The final mission design is a lot more intriguing than the passive one. Well, we're playing the Dowd DLC with violence. I'm not trying to get the low chaos ending for that particular DLC, so I'm using my other weapons. The problem with Dishonored, the first Dishonored, is if you're trying to do a passive ending, half your arsenal is useless. You can't use your explosive darts. You can't use your gun. You can't use your regular darts. Half of the powers that you get are useless because you can't kill anyone by turning them into powder. So you're handicapped. You're stuck with only a handful of things you can use, and that's less fun. So with Dowd, I'm just doing everything. I'm getting all of my violent stuff, and I'm just going hog wild. Ricky says, did you see the fall of Fallout 76's video? It's wow. No, I'm sorry. I don't really have time to watch other videos. And I'm on YouTube a lot, but I don't watch YouTube a lot, if that makes sense. Like, I'm on it doing work, but I don't really watch a lot of other YouTubers. If I watch any other YouTubers, it's like Kurtzegard. In a nutshell, guys, they do good stuff. I like the slow-mo guy where they just, the slow-mo guys, they'll do videos in slow motion. Then there's the hydraulic press channel. I mean, you don't have to think about it. You just say, sit there, watch them crush watermelons with a hydraulic press. Why? Because they can. That's what I watch. Anthony Maitaxio says, hey, Oxhorn, was watching your old machinima, loved inventing swear words and all of your old short shorts. Have you thought about going back to old WoW? Not streaming it, but more of playing casually. That question is raised on a number of occasions, and I'm not going to be going back. I'm happy with the memories of World of Warcraft that I made 10 years ago. Made great friends, did lots of wonderful things, had a great time, and I've moved on to other things. Jason Fisher says, any word on an ice maker yet? No, it's still broken. Because of my job, there are all of these household things that I need to do that I don't do. Like fix the ice machine on my fridge. Because I'm busy. I need to fix the ice machine on my fridge. I need ice for my scotch. And the fact that you're bringing it up means that it's been a year since I've talked about it, and it's still broken, so I just feel shamed. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling shame that I haven't fixed my ice machine in a year. So thanks for bringing that up. I'll get to it eventually. I will get to it eventually. The Dark Seraph says, I got a glass of Jack and Rum Runner cigar. What do you got, Ox? I have a glass of Scotch. I believe it's Glenlivet. My local grocery store does not have a very large selection of Scotch. They have one. They have one Scotch. I mean, I live out in the boonies now, right? So it's hard to get good Scotch. But I'm just grateful that they have one bottle, and it's all right. I'm not going to complain. But I've been drinking the same Scotch for a long time. I should probably order some, huh? Lucky Babcock says, Ox, hey Ox, thanks for the great content. Thank you very much, Lucky Babcock. I do my best. I'm trying to keep the funnel full of content, but the longer the video, the harder it is for me to do it each day. I mean, I don't get those YouTubers that do a 10-minute video a week, right? I know they're out there. They'll do a 10-minute video a week. And, okay, I wish I could do one video a week sometimes, right? Because then I could like sit down and just do this real great 2-3 hour long video about a topic and just do a ton of research. But I do more than one video a week, and sometimes it gets a little tiring. So that's why tomorrow's, not tomorrow, but Saturday's video is going to be great. I put a lot of effort into my latest Fallout 2 video. there was just so many wonderful pop culture references in this video that I got to research, particularly poetry. If you look up Reading before the video, that might be useful, because the entire town of Reading it's like a love letter to Robert Service, a poet a Scottish poet from Canada. He was from Scotland and he moved to Canada. And he became enamored by Canadian land and wildlife, and so he wrote a lot of famous poetry just about roughing it in Canada, and it included dog sledding and mining and riverboat sailing and a lot of Hemingway kind of stuff. It kind of reminded me of like what Hemingway would write about. Anyway, like there are so many references, and I had so much fun just looking them all up and reading the poems, and I go over the plots of many of these poems in the video. So we'll be taking breaks throughout the video while I like show off these poems and show off Google Earth where we can zoom in on the locations. A lot of effort into it, an hour and 40 minutes long. You're going to have a good Saturday if you're interested and you watch that video when I publish it, but I got to render it after this. Anyway, a lot to do tonight. Mythic says, I just got into watching hydraulic press videos recently, and I'm surprised at how oddly pleasing they are to watch. They are. I don't know, maybe it's the reptilian part of our brains. We just like seeing things destroyed. Doesn't have to make any sense. No one has to get hurt. Just seeing something destroyed. There's something beautiful there. Thank you, Jeff H. I do appreciate it. Anthony Maitico says, butchered my last name, lol. Apologies for the repeated question. Okay, butchered your last name, sorry. Maiatico. Maiatico. I am sorry. I am so sorry. I'm doing my best. I don't know what else to do. I tried. Steve Stavley or Stalvey. I'm gonna be horrible with last names. I'm sorry. I've already said Babcock, and now I'm Stavley and Stalvey. Stalvey. Steve. Sorry. I'm sorry. Hey Ox, I've missed your Rage 2 streams. What do you think? I've heard mixed reviews, so I've waited to pick it up. I like it. Yeah, it's not gonna be for everyone. Ox, show your Liberator props, says the Code Gamer. Oh yeah, there it is. All right, I'll shut off in a minute. All right, so yeah, I'm enjoying myself with Rage 2. It's not something you want. If you want plot, you're going to the wrong place. You don't go there for plot. Yes, there are some bugs. Audio cuts out every now and then. It's got its issues. But man, it's one of the best open world, brainless shooters I've ever played. In fact, I don't think I've ever played like Doom. Okay, we're having a lot of fun with the Doom. We're going to play it tonight. It's like Doom, but in an open world you can actually explore on your own. And the open world is seamless. You don't load into other zones. It's just you go into a cave, you go into the cave. You don't zone into a cave. It's great, and the vehicle driving, well, I mean, some of the vehicles are a little clunky. The racing I did not like. I got angry. During my live stream, I got angry. I think I probably got angrier than I should have been. But I got through the racing, and I'm never racing again in that particular game. But outside of racing, I am enjoying the vehicles. They seem fun. I'm really enjoying the helicopter. Sputnik says money for fixing the ice machine. It's not about money, my friend. It's about time. I'm able to fix the... Thank you very much, Sputnik. I'm able to fix the ice machine, but it's sitting down and really kind of calling somebody to come to the place and fix the ice machine. That's the part. All right. Let's get it. I've got a couple to show off. I'll get a few of them. All right. We got this guy here. And we got this guy. So the collection is growing. Wayne says, I usually make every stream live, but I've missed out on the past few. Glad to catch you here today. Have a tip for me and have fun with the game. Thank you very much. I'm glad you made it. Don't make it every day. That's fine. I understand. We all got lives. I'm glad you make it when you can make it. Okay. So, all of this, with the exception of the Liberator drone, I bought like a year ago, and it all arrived today and yesterday. This arrived today. Liberty Prime. Communism is a lie, right? Democracy is non-negotiable. I'm so impressed with the quality of this particular prop. It came with pegs on the feet so that you can snap it on down right into the little pedestal there. It's heavy. This is a heavy piece of plastic. I don't see any seams on it. There's no molding issues. It just looks great. You can even see the individual rivets on each plate of steel that's on this thing. It doesn't light up. You know, you don't have lasers coming out of the eyes or anything like that. You know, what do you expect? But it's great. You know, there are the mini nukes, the Mark V or whatever that we got from the Sentinel site. It's the Fallout 4 version of Liberty Prime, not the Fallout 3 version, and I like the Fallout 4 version better. So there you go, a wonderful little prop. Don't have room for it. Don't know where I'm going to put it, but a wonderful little prop. All right. Then there's this. I don't remember buying this one. I don't know why I got this. I don't think I wanted it. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's well made. I don't know if it fits in with my display. Like, I don't have other statues of power armor. Instead, I'm collecting actual pieces of it. But this is the the T-51B suit of power armor, and it's really well done. Look at the splotching and the rust and the wear on all of that metal. And then on the chest piece, the paint has been worn off and scraped. That could have been done better, in my opinion. It looks a little squiggly. Looks like someone took a paintbrush to it and kind of did a little S or did a little squiggle. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But I do really like the weathering and splotching on the legs. And the plasma weapon, just like, it's not bent. It doesn't look plastic. It doesn't look like a toy gun or anything. It looks like a, legit plasma rifle. And it of course matches the real prop that we got earlier on. So yeah, lots of wonderful detail. There's the little fusion core at the very back. The legs are a little fragile. The legs can pop out of the hip socket. That happened to me when I was trying to put it in. A little bit of glue should put that back together. I haven't bothered to glue it back in yet. But yeah, not too bad, right? And this. Really pleased about this. I bought this recently. I know I said I was going to calm down. But if you look at my Fallout 76 shelf, it's, there are a few things. I've got the cat from the theme park. I've got the Pip-Boy and a few other things. I don't have a lot of Fallout 76 props, so I figured I would get something that was unique to Fallout 76. And there's a guy on Etsy who does wonderful props. He's the same guy who did a couple of my power armor helmets up there. Just search for the Fallout 76 Liberator drone. I think he's the only guy who does it. And not only that, but it lights up. Isn't that great? And he does custom details. Like the one that he was selling on his shop was a little bit inaccurate. And I geeked out a little bit on him. And I said, look, according to your listing on Etsy, it's not perfect. The one in the game has a two-tone paint scheme, a little sky blue on the bottom and a little darker blue up top, and your version only has one color. So when you do mine, please do the two-tone paint scheme. And you missed the Chinese lettering on the real Liberator drone. And he's like, all right. He was so patient with me. He says, okay, I'll do the two-tone paint scheme and the hand-painted Chinese lettering on there. And it looks great. He did a good job. Like, he hand-painted that. I don't know if you can see it. He hand painted it, and it turned out wonderful, and the eye is glowing. The top comes off, and that's where the battery is. Nothing really secret or special in there. I suppose you could store something in there if you want, bottle caps. But he handed all the rusting. You know, the legs don't move. It's not like a little robot and it's articulate or anything. Yeah, it's a great little prop. I'm pretty pleased with it, and I love it. It's perfect for my Fallout 76 display. So, I'm pretty pleased with it. Let's put this guy back. Oh, I almost forgot. Hold on. I know. Just don't say anything, and we'll be fine. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'll talk with my therapist about it. But for now, I'm going to enjoy it. Look, it's a Giddy Up Buttercup. I found a guy. Before I drop his name, I should probably ask him if it's okay. This was not available on Etsy. I basically had to. I found a guy on YouTube who made one of these for himself and a friend, and I went to his Etsy shop, and he hadn't made anything on Etsy in like months and years. So I sent him an email and asked him if he would do me a favor and make me one, and he said yes. So he made one, and it's the best thing in the world. Like the mouth, it's the best thing in the world. I'm a little disappointed because it arrived slightly damaged, but the damage is so incredibly slight, and it's great. Look at it. It's got, you can move everything. The hooves work, and it came with a little stand. It's big. It's life size. Like, it's ridiculous. And look at the quality. There's no scan lines on it as if it had been 3D printed. It's hand painted. He did all of the aging on it himself. It's just a masterpiece is what this is. It's a masterpiece. And I don't know if you could find it anywhere else. And I wanted to Giddy Up Buttercup, and I got one, and I showed it to my daughter, and she freaked out. And now I have to worry about her sneaking into my office and playing with it. Because I don't want her to break it. But, Bethesda, you've got a gold mine on your hands. My daughter loved this, okay? If you decide to start producing some Giddy Up Buttercups, people will like it. You could take over Walmart. I'm just saying, it's going to be the big Christmas toy of the year. If you were to market the Giddy Up Buttercup, it's amazing, right? All right, hold on. I see all of the comments. I'll be back in a minute. Hold on, I gotta put this back. It's big and heavy. Then, it's been a busy couple of weeks. Remember how I said... This is starting to get embarrassing now. Remember how I said that my Fallout 76 shelf was starting to look a little scant? Didn't have as much up there as I did on some of the other shelves. Well, I needed to get something else to flesh it out. Something unique. That's what I wanted, because you know how Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 share a lot of the same assets? So what I get for Fallout 4, I could put on my Fallout 76 shelf, but I wanted something really unique that is really only pertinent to Fallout 76, like the Liberator robot and this. You can hear it beeping already, right? I know you dream about this. You hear the beeps in your sleep and they drive you crazy. They do me. I think I just beep, beep, beep. Okay, I'm going to get it. I get it, right? No, I had to get it. This is the only way I can sleep at night now. Knowing that I finally got the doggone nuclear silo code piece. I finally have it. I don't have to worry about that beeping anymore. And this was made by the same guy who did the Giddy Up Buttercup. Exceptional attention to detail. Like, I've gotten a lot of props on Etsy before, right? I've done this a lot. I'm a veteran when it comes to getting handmade props. And every now and then you'll get something that just not a lot of care and attention went into it. You know that it's on their production line. It's their job. They just want to get each one out the door. And then you get something that is truly handmade. Like the person is an artist and they put such attention to detail to every corner, every fleck of paint. That's what this is. You can't even tell that this isn't real, that it's not made of metal. I mean, even the back plate has unique text on there. It's got a unique item code on it. And the antenna's a little loose. I wish we had like a spring on there to put it back up. But it was just done really well. And I just love it when people are as geeky about this sort of thing as I am, because I know that they're going to do it right, and I know that they paid attention to the models in game. It's refreshing. Can I say that? It's just refreshing, and I love everything about it. This is why the Fallout community is as awesome as it is, because there are people out there that'll do things like this for no other reason than they just love it. All right, I don't want to waste the batteries, so let me... This pops out, and then... This slides out, and just punch that back up, and there you go. I don't have to worry about wasting the batteries. So, yeah, I forgot to tell you all about this. I think, yeah. I've been busy. I've been busy with my videos. Anyway, now, I know I've probably missed a lot of your questions. I'm sorry. Let me get to that in a minute. Where's my scotch? There we go. The Truckin' Vapor says, OMG, I can hear it already. The beeping, beep, beep, yeah. You can hear it halfway across the map, beep. Taz says, your Obra Dinn videos are making me want to buy it and have my own playthrough to just live the game like you have. It hasn't been profitable financially, but making the Obra Dinn series has been so much fun. For me, it's been such a breath of fresh air. It's an indie game, right? So there's not this built-in audience of people craving content for a small indie game. And I knew that going into it, but the game was just... It's a fingerprint. There is no game in the universe like The Return of the Obra Dinn. It's a masterpiece. I had to just envelop it and just consume it and, go through every corner of this game to understand it, because it was so cool. And I really wanted to bring you all along with me for that, which is why I did the series. So I'm grateful that there are so many of you who are enjoying it. Okay, what did I miss? Kapinski says, Ox, where do you find this stuff? So when my video is rendering, I have a lot of time to kill, right? I finished my video, I click the render button, it's gonna take 2-3 hours to render. Sometimes I'll record audio for other things, or I'll write a script for that, but sometimes I just sit there with a cigar and I browse the internet for Fallout props. And that's what I do, and I'll come across something like this. It was well done. Big Boy says, how are you doing, good sir? I'm doing very well, Big Boy. So glad you're on the program. Always good to see you. The Hypnotic Whisper with the tip says, hey, Oxhorn, really digging your Obra Dinn series. I'm loving all the Obra Dinn comments, I have to say. It's when it comes to views, it's not viewed quite as much as my Fallout content, but I'm really grateful people are enjoying that series as much as they are. Josh Bunton says, Ox, are you living out your dream with that particular prop? Which particular prop are you talking about? What dream? I'm already living out my dream with all of these props, like the fact that I'm able to produce this shrine. Can we just, all right, it's a shrine at this point. I was thinking it's a backdrop. I was calling it just the back. It's a show backdrop. It's turning into a shrine. All right. And, okay, I can't scroll up anymore. If I missed your comment or super chat while I was prancing around with a pony, I'm sorry. But I've scrolled up as far as I can and I can't see anymore. So if I missed it, I'm sorry. Thomas D says, damn, that's like me with clothing. Just got to stop browsing. I know. I just got to stop. I have to tell myself no. When my video is rendering, no looking at Etsy, because you'll find something Fallout related. Charles Borden says, Ox, still think that Arlen Glass would break down in tears seeing that Giddy Up Buttercup? He'd love it. Look, Arlen Glass said to a child who is in need, or to a child who wants it, and in my heart, I'm a child, I guess. Maybe I'm fulfilling his dream by enjoying this Buttercup. I let my kids play with it, right? So children are enjoying it. Arlen Glass would be pleased. Jessica says, just got off work and missed half your live stream. So glad I made it. Keep up the great work. Oh, and I love the Oberdin series. Thank you, Jessica. The rest of the show will be on YouTube if you ever want to rewatch it. I think you missed like half the props. Brett Buss says, I can see the look your wife gives you with every new prop at this point, but in all seriousness, those are awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And she's been very, very graceful. She understands. She understands. She's the only woman who could live with me. So she understands. Josh says it was a pun about the Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 loading screen about the hurtful buttercups. Oh man, I guess I don't know what loading screen you're talking about. Brian says, I really hope Ox streams E3 this year. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do there. I decided not to go to E3. Man, this time of year, things get crazy. I don't even want to visit my email because I get like 10 emails a day or so from companies wanting me to cover their game. And, hey, we've got a new E3 release coming out. You should cover it on your channel. Your fans would like it, and yada, yada, yada. And it's a bit overwhelming. So I don't want to deal with any of that. I just want to keep on making my content. So I'm not going to E3 this year, but we had a lot of fun last year when I covered E3, well, at least the Bethesda announcements at E3 live on my channel. I may do something like that. I'm interested. Okay, so I'm interested in the Outer Worlds and learning more about what they have to share with us, even though there's the whole Epic Launcher issue, but we can always buy it from the Microsoft Store, so there's always that. I am interested in the Outer Worlds, so I'd love to hear more about what they have to say. I'm interested in Cyberpunk 2077. I want to hear what they have to say. Then, of course, there's Bethesda, and everything they say I'm going to be interested in particular, because they're probably going to be talking more about the next Elder Scrolls, and maybe they'll give us a bit of information about what's the sci-fi game they're working on? Outer World? I'm getting it confused with the Outer Worlds. I forget. All they did is give us a title slide and a shot of space during E3 last year, so we don't really know what they're working on. I'm hoping for more this year. It's not going to be exciting as last year, because last year they did the whole 76 build-up on their Twitch stream, and it was like every day we were covering their Twitch channel, just waiting to see, what the puppet was going to do next, which was fun. It was a good marketing ploy on their end, and we all really enjoyed that. So yeah, I might cover it in that way, but I'm not going to E3 this year. Starfield, yes. Thank you, Don, and the Crab, and Brian, and Patrick, and Zartu. Thank you, Starfield. Mythic says, I gotta say, the recent episode of Obra Dinn was the most interesting yet, and is really becoming something special. Can't wait for more. Yeah, the recent entry had one of the most unique creatures I have seen. I mean, yeah, we expected the Kraken. That's why it showed up in episode 2, the Doom. And, but man, what was that? It was like a ghostly spear creature riding a crab. It was great. When I saw it the first time while playing the Obra Dinn, I was blown away by how frightening and terrifying it was. People who are afraid of the sea should not play Obra Dinn, because they'll get legitimately scared. Some of these creatures are crazy. But yeah, they did a great job with that. And really, the final episode that you only get after getting all fates correct, which I will cover on the stream, answers a few questions. And really, it's really compelling. So I'm looking forward to sharing that. But no spoilers. I'm not going to get into spoilers yet. Jim Pickens says, Ox, which is better, the Railroad or the Minutemen? I would say the Minutemen. I like the Railroad. I think their philosophy and methodology are flawed. I think their hearts are in the right place, but I think they have a too great an emphasis on the physical corporeal form of the synth as opposed to the mind of the synth. And therefore, the methods that they use to save the synths, to destroy the mind, to save the body, is flawed. But that's what I prefer the Minutemen. Even though they're weak when we find them in the game, we can turn them into a very useful and powerful faction. Canuck says, Ox, Todd Howard said no Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6 at E3 this year? You're kidding me. What? What are they going to talk about then? Are you serious? No Elder Scrolls 6. No Starfield talk at E3. I don't even care if the date is years from now. I want an update, man. They've been working on it for a year. I want to see something flashy. No? Really? What are they going to talk about then? Wolfenstein, cool. Doom Eternal, right. Man, that's a bummer. Michael Dunlop says, Ox, my stepdaughter and I love all of your Fallout shows. I pick her up from school every day and we watch Fallout 1 to now Fallout 76 shows while we travel. Hey, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm grateful that you guys were able to watch Fallout 1. Not many of the youths are into the whole isometric video games of the 90s that I'm sure you and I grew up on, so cool that you can enjoy that. Steve says E3 will probably be a lot of Doom Eternal, yeah. Ben Beck says Doom. Yeah. I mean, look, I like Doom. I'm going to be playing Doom tonight. You know, there's a part of me that's a little sad. It's all right. Love to hear more about what they're going to do. Doom is great. There are only so many variations of killing demons before you're kind of demon killing out. Does that make sense? I don't know. We'll probably play Doom Eternal on this channel. I'm not going to ignore it. Of course, I didn't expect any talk about Fallout. They're probably not going to touch Fallout for a while. I'm sad to say. Someday. Ryan says, I bet Arcane is going to show something. Yeah. Ethan says, a bunch of tornadoes hit my hometown this week, but I'm lucky I'm still alive. Good thing, too, because I didn't want to miss your stream. Well, again, are there storms all over the country right now? What's going on? You're the second guy to talk about storms that almost prevented you from watching the show. I'm glad you made it, but man, stay safe. That's what's important. Taz says, Ox, check out the ThinkGeek T45 Nuka-Cola USB hub. It looks awesome. I'll check it out. I don't know. I've got a lot of USB hubs. I don't know, just the years that I've spent collecting computer parts, I think I've got a drawer filled with USB hubs that I don't use. So I probably won't get that. But I will look it up. Vault Boy with a tip. Thank you very much, Vault Boy. Steve says, Ox, no crazy talk. That doesn't make sense. I know. Fallout at E3 2019? That is crazy talk. Rebel Sniper says, would you like to see another Fallout with the Minutemen in it? And how do you think the story would go? I don't want to see another Fallout with the Minutemen in it. As interested in that faction as I am, if they were to include the Minutemen in another faction, it would destroy the role-playing of 90% of their players, right? Because the whole thing about the Minutemen is that it becomes your faction. You're the general, and you can choose what happens to it. If there becomes some canonical ending to the Minutemen, it ruins all of the role-playing we've been doing all of these years since Fallout 4. So I hope that they don't ever touch the Minutemen again. It remains the way it is in Fallout 4. Nothing canonical comes from it. I always dislike it when they'll make a canonical ending to a game. They did this in Fallout 2 with some of the events of Fallout 1. For instance, they made it canonical that the Vault Dweller was a male, for example. So all of you who role-played a female Vault Dweller, sorry, you're wrong. Canonically, it was a male, right? And then the fate of Redding. Well, I'm going to be publishing that video on Saturday, so I can't tell you that. But they made a canonical ending when they launched Fallout New Vegas by telling what happened to Redding. And so whatever choice you made in the town of Redding ultimately doesn't matter because the canonical ending overwrites that. And then the same thing happened in Fallout 4 with the Brotherhood of Steel. Whether you sided with the Enclave or not doesn't matter when it comes to Broken Steel because the Brotherhood won, right? That's the canonical ending of Fallout 3. And I understand why they do that, because they want to use these factions. They have a story to tell. But anytime they do that, they kind of take a little bit of the power away from the player when it comes to storytelling. That's the cool thing about role-playing games, is it puts the power of storytelling into the hands of the player to a certain extent. I mean, there's only so much freedom you can give a player in a video game compared to a tabletop RPG. But another thing that I dislike is when they lean too heavily on the same factions. I love the Brotherhood of Steel, don't get me wrong, but they're in every game. Every single game. They even came out with a game called Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and of course it bombed. It was abysmal. It was absolutely awful. I like the Brotherhood of Steel, but I really like what Obsidian did with Fallout New Vegas. They were in Fallout New Vegas, but they were not essential to Fallout New Vegas. The factions of Fallout New Vegas were all new except for NCR. I mean, they had to put the NCR in there. It's the NCR. If we didn't see the NCR in Fallout New Vegas, then it wouldn't... The NCR, as we found them in Fallout 2, wouldn't have made sense. They were already growing in Fallout 2. They were becoming a dominant continental power. And if that somehow stopped, they would have to explain that, right? What happened to the NCR is what everyone would say if the NCR wasn't moving into Nevada. So it makes sense why they reused the NCR. But I like how they used the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout New Vegas, because they were still there, but they weren't a huge faction. Bethesda used the Brotherhood of Steel as like the only good faction in Fallout 3. You can't even properly side with the Enclave in Fallout 3. Don't get started. I mean, I love Fallout 3. I'm doing a series on Fallout 3, but when it comes to role-playing choices, you can't even properly side with the Enclave in Fallout 3, which is a bit of a bummer. But they changed a lot of that in Fallout 4. You now can properly side for or against all of the factions, but they had to bring in the Brotherhood of Steel. And I'm a little bummed that they brought the Brotherhood of Steel also into Fallout 76. I really wanted whole new factions in Fallout 76. And we are getting some of them. The Responders are completely new. The Free States were completely new. So, but then they had to reuse the Enclave and the Brotherhood. Anyway, to make a long story short, how did I get off on that? If they do come out with Fallout 5, I want completely new factions. I don't want to see the Enclave again. I don't want to see the Brotherhood again. Or if we do, I want to see them in a small thing. I love the Institute. I'm glad they were in Fallout 4. I don't want to see them in Fallout 5, but I want to see a new faction. You know, it's just cool, but in a different way. You know, something completely new. I want the game to kind of stand on its own as a new, unique thing, right? That's what I want. Jason says, Ox, as much as I love what you do, please remember to not just play games for your job. The moment you stop enjoying a game is the moment it loses its very purpose. And with that, I'm off. Good night, Ox. Thank you, Jason. Well, I certainly hope I'm not giving anyone that impression, because that would be a bummer. Have you been watching the show Chernobyl on HBO, says Vault Boy. I think I remember seeing the trailer for Chernobyl, and it looked really interesting. I haven't seen it. Anything Cold War, you know, is really interesting to me. If I had the time, I'd sit down and watch all sorts of documentaries and Cold War era shows, but sadly I can't enjoy them, not with my schedule. Ash Malachi says the Midwest got a lot of bad storms around this time of year. Well, I hope everybody's okay. I'm glad you're watching the program if you're getting hit by a storm, but please be safe. Gabe says, I made it after missing the last, 8 episodes. I've been busy with school. What have I missed? Any new toys? Good to see you. You missed it. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but I showed them all off at the beginning of the program. This one is still near to me, so... if you should probably rewatch the episode from the beginning if you want to see everything new. Yeah, a few more new toys. In terms of what you've missed, it's all on my channel. Lots of Fallout 76 stuff last week. Or was it the week before? They did the Tadpole stuff. I think it was last week. There was Arctos Pharma. Lots of new updates. There's tons of stuff. Check out my channel and then just go to my upload section and view by most recent. And you'll find all the new stuff that's been coming out. But this weekend is going to be big because I got a Fallout 2 video for Saturday, and then Broken Steel starts Sunday. The first episode of our Broken Steel series is going to start Sunday. I already finished the intro animated sequence. The song turned out great. I did a little preview of that in my last Scotch and Smoke Rings. So it's turning into a great little series, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Mythic says, I think if Bethesda didn't include the Brotherhood in Fallout 5, there would be some outcry because they've become such a staple of the series. Maybe you're right. There is always that. People have come to expect it. And the Brotherhood is also almost synonymous with power armor. How do you explain power armor if the Brotherhood didn't bring it there, if the Brotherhood isn't wearing it? So there is a utilitarian function that the Brotherhood plays in both of those games. Now that I come to think of it, one of the major... my Fallout New Vegas character didn't wear power armor, and we find few enemies in the game wearing power armor, probably because the Brotherhood plays such a small role in Fallout New Vegas. Then again, it would also be really interesting to play a Fallout game where power armor wasn't such a big deal. I love power armor as it's presented to us in Fallout 76 and 4, but it also feels required. I know it's not. There are a lot of players of both games who are able to make characters that are really powerful and useful without needing power armor, but I don't know, for me, I kind of feel like I have to have it. And in Fallout New Vegas, it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like an essential tool that you had to have. But yeah, there is that thing. I don't know. But then again, one of the major complaints early on when people were just diving into the story of Fallout 76 was that the Brotherhood was there. They didn't understand how the Brotherhood could be there. It's finally explained to us, and it does match the lore. It works itself in there. But before people understood the story of the Brotherhood in 76, it became an issue that they had to overcome. Christoph with a tip. Thank you very much, Christoph. I do appreciate it. How is it 7:58 already? How have we been doing this for an hour? It doesn't feel like an hour. It feels like I just sat down. Look at my cigar. I've hardly had a chance to smoke it. Where's my scotch? Hold on. Let me drink my Pepsi. This hour just flies by so quickly. Yeti Smith says the excavator armor doesn't need the Brotherhood of Steel. And that's right. Anything pre-war doesn't need the Brotherhood of Steel. And I love what they did with the excavator power armor. They made it practical. They made a story for the excavator power armor that makes sense in the world. It was a tool used by an industry. And it just so happened to be a tool that people could fit into. And it works, in warfare as well. But the T-60, for example, can't be explained in Fallout 4 if not for the Brotherhood. In Fallout 76, they kind of just went over that. They didn't care about that. And yeah, there's T-60, and it's used out there. But in Fallout 4, they explained it, I believe... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Paladin Dance who told us that they stumbled upon a pre-war warehouse of T-60 suits of pre-war power armor that they then outfitted their forces with. Taz says, Zox, it seems like 76 learned that armor shouldn't be seen from the Nexus mods that give you invisible armor. Yeah, I think they did a smart move there. Armor can be seen. It's if you wear something over it. So what he's talking about is in Fallout 76, if you've got a unique costume and you want people to see it, you can put on your vault suit and then put on all your armor. And then if you equip a costume over that, all your armor disappears and people just see your costume. And that's cool. People are allowed, it helps people with their role playing that way. And there's a mod out there called Concealed Armor that's really popular on Nexus mods for Fallout 4 that might have been the inspiration for that. Christoph says, love it, Ox. Personally, I love the continuation of the factions, considering how large they are. I would love to play a Fallout in Mexico or Canada. Well, Mexico isn't really mentioned very often in the franchise as far as I know. But Canada is, which is why I'd be really interested to see what an annexed Canada would look like. Thank you very much, Christoph. Starfield will be 2020, The Elder Scrolls 6 in 2022 at the earliest, Fallout 5 2024 at the earliest. I mean, I think you're being ambitious putting Starfield into 2020. my bet, and I have no insider knowledge, so I'm just talking out of my hat, but my bet is that Starfield is in like pre-production. If they, with at least the Elder Scrolls, they showed us the world. They gave us a trailer showing what the landscape and the land would look like. With Starfield, they just showed us a star. They showed us a brief glimpse of space and a title slide. That's it. I don't think they've really started on it, frankly. I mean, everybody knows that when a video game company shows a trailer at E3, that it's vapor. Like they made that just for E3. I remember reading an article about, I think it was Apex Legends, or was it something else that started with an A? I forget. But it was one of these games where they had no gameplay. There was nothing to play in the game. But E3 was coming, and they had to make a trailer, so the guys just sat down and started scraping together assets, and they made something. And like half of what's in the trailer didn't even show up in the game. No Man's Sky was an example of this. I don't think they did it at E3, but in the trailer for No Man's Sky, like you see these, sweeping brontosauruses with their long necks, and none of that was in the game at launch. So when it comes to what you see at E3, muted expectations. Just kind of look at it and go, oh, okay. Golf clap. Interesting, but golf clap. But when it comes to Bethesda, for Starfield, all we get is like the night sky and text. That's what we got for Starfield. So I'm pretty sure it's pre-production. But we'll see. I mean, I have no idea. Jay Bennett says Starfield will be next gen. I think you're right. It'll be next gen. Whatever the next gen of their game engine is, that's what they'll use for Starfield. Brian says, well, Starfield is definitely the next BGS game coming out. Are you sure? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. I think you're hoping. I mean, I hope you're right. Like, I'm not trying to be a downer. I really hope you're right, because that would be great. It would be great for me personally. I want to play the game. It would be great for my channel. I want to cover the game. So I hope you're right. But just if I'm being honest, I don't think they're that far along. But I hope I'm wrong. Mythic says, personally, I'd love to see a Fallout spinoff taking place in China to see their point of view for once, and maybe even explore the War of 2077. I'm so with you on that. One of the great disappointments for me was when I finally sat down to play Operation Anchorage. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Operation Anchorage. The whole simulation thing was really interesting. How they tied that in with the Outcasts was great. But when I saw the marketing materials for Operation Anchorage, it felt so much larger to me. The images and the videos, I didn't feel like I was going to be stuck playing a simulation. I felt like somehow they were going to transport me back to 2077, and I was going to be a combatant in the Great War of 2077, where the United States military freed themselves from Chinese occupation. And I'm so excited, and it ended up being really linear, right? So I was a little disappointed. Now, what we got was really cool. I loved the hillside cannons that they used, that they were shelling Anchorage with. I mean, that was just a breathtaking scene, and it was terrifying that China would do that to a city. I mean, all of this really cool stuff. I just had hoped that it would have been bigger, I guess, is what I was thinking. That's where I'm going. So, yeah, ever since Fallout 3, I've been wanting to travel to 2077 and see what happened at Anchorage, or to see the food riots in downtown Boston, or the riots in D.C., to see the troops put out domestically is just horrible, but fascinating, and I would love to see part of that. I mean, there's a lot that they could do. There's such depth to the Fallout franchise that, I kind of feel it's barely been tapped. I want more. I want so much more. Okay, we got to get to the game. Danny says, Ox, do you think the NCR will ever return in the future? I would love to see the NCR again, but if I'm honest, no, probably not. Especially since practically the fate of the NCR is in the Courier's hands by the end of Fallout New Vegas. If they don't win Nevada, they're just crippled. Like, all of that might, all of that blood that they sent to Nevada to get Hoover Dam, if they don't win, like, as a faction, how do you recover from that? It's brutal. So they would have to tell that story, which would kind of take away, as I was saying earlier, some of the role-playing freedom and the storytelling freedom of the player. So I don't think that we'll ever see the NCR again. Part of me is curious to see what the canonical ending of New Vegas is, to see how the NCR ended up. But also part of me doesn't want to see that because I kind of want to have my ending, the one that I made for New Vegas. So, all right, I got to get to the game. Ox Todd said Starfield is first, then the Elder Scrolls 6. You're kidding me, really? Brian says the last E3 during an interview, Todd said that Starfield is next. Wow. You're right. Okay. Cool. I don't know how they're going to do it. They haven't showed us anything about Starfield. How is Starfield next? They haven't showed us a thing. And they're not going to show us anything at E3 this year? Friends, I hate to say it, if Starfield is next, I think we're going to be waiting for quite some time for Bethesda Studios to be producing anything new. So I hope Fallout 76 was enough for you. I hope it's enough to last you a bit, because I think we're probably going to be waiting some years. But, everything that I've heard about Starfield sounds fascinating, and it seems like exactly the kind of game I'd love to see Bethesda tackle. They've done post-apocalyptic. They've done fantasy. I'd love to see them tackle a slick, glistening, glitzy sci-fi. That would be pretty cool. All right, let's get to Doom. Doom. Thank you, Danny Dots. I do appreciate it. Steve says the NCR will live on in my heart and in mine. Okay. Nathan says the NCR sent like 30 guys to Hoover Dam. It sounds like more if you listen to the radio. If you listen to the radio transmission as you're raiding Hoover Dam, it sounds like they sent more. But I hear what you're saying. Okay, where is it? There it is. America says, Oxhorn, are you going to play Firewatch? I'm sadly not familiar enough with that title to be able to answer for you. I'm always looking for new stuff to play, so maybe I'll look up Firewatch after the broadcast. But I don't know enough about it to be able to answer that question at the time, or at the moment. Deuteronomus says, I agree, Operation Anchorage was way too linear and weird. Yeah, it had a very different feeling from the open world Fallout 3 that we were used to. A lot about it that I loved, and, just a lot that I was not so fond of. Clell Biggs says, trust me, Starfield will release in 2020. And Brian says, I'm with Clell Biggs. Well, I hope you guys are right. I really, really, really hope you guys are right. That would rock. All right, let's move on to the game. Okay, sugar. I just don't want them to rush it, guys. Like, maybe I'm being too pessimistic because I don't want them to rush it. I feel like we've just begun to hear about Starfield, and I want it to be such a good game, and I don't want them to rush it. I don't want them to feel like they have to get it out by 2020 and then to push out this mediocre, glitchy, buggy game. I want it to be a great game, and so I want them to take their time. I honestly don't care if I have to wait a few years for that. Now, if they did say 2020, then they said 2020. But I don't know if that's a good thing, right? Am I alone here? I kind of hope that they just, labor on it. Now, I know they're a studio, and they have to make money, and they have their schedules, so I get the whole business side of things. They got to get it out the door. I get it. I just want it to be good so bad. I want it to be good. Thoughts on The Outer Worlds, says Kai Kokin. Much love from Loretto. I'm fascinated by the potential of the game. A little bummed by the exclusivity deal that they signed. Well, not limited exclusivity, right? On the Epic Store and the Microsoft Store. A little bit bummed by that, but the game itself does look really good. Okay, let's dive in. Oh, okay. I need to spend my points. Looks like I haven't been focusing on my character. Oh, 13. Holy cow. What do I spend this on? Let's try... I don't have any more runes. I haven't passed any more of these rune challenges. Oh, but this is already upgraded. Both of these are upgraded. Hold on. Increases how long demons remain in stagger state. BFG ammo has a chance to drop from demons. Whoa. Increases the effectiveness of equipped items. Ah, that's going to be tricky. All right, let's focus on what I've got. Do I do ammo boost 2? Or dazed and confused? I think I'll do ammo boost 2. Mythic says there's always a chance that Starfield has been in development since way before last year and could be working right now to straighten out the game. You're right. I mean, there's a chance that they've just been super quiet about it. And actually, knowing Bethesda, that's probably something they would do. They would just be super quiet about it. Honestly, I don't blame them. The moment they come out with anything, that's the moment that the ball starts rolling, and then suddenly everybody wants more details on it. They're going to be constantly hounding Bethesda. So yeah, I guess I don't blame them for being as quiet about Starfield as they have been. Maybe it's farther along in production than we realize. Maybe you're right. Okay, where am I? Let's go to... Okay, I've got 13 of these doggone things left to do. Shotgun. I have barely upgraded this. Faster reload. But let's focus on these other weapons that I'm going to need for this big boss fight. Okay, hold on. Quick launcher. Instantly activate the micro missile rack while it's ready to fire. That would be useful. I've already upgraded that. I've barely touched this one. All right, let's look at something else first. I have already upgraded that. Already upgraded that. And I've not touched my pistol. All right, let's focus on this guy. All right, 9 left. Hold on, let's talk about this. Decrease the time to reload the next shot. Shots penetrate through targets. Oh, yeah. That's what I want. Okay. I gotta get there. Hold on. All right, Oxhorn, you're in hell. You have a big gun, and there are lots of squishy demons. Getting in the zone, putting myself in his shoes. Oh. Hey, look at that! We hit the jackpot. Oh, these bodies. It's horrifying. I've barely used my gasoline. What is this? Looks like I gotta unlock it. All right, here we go. Whoa! It's like right out of medieval Europe. Cyber Mancubus. Oh no. Am I gonna have to fight one of these guys? The work of Dr. Pierce and her biogeneticists proved successful, and several cybernetic mancubi are currently held in captivity within the Lazarus Project laboratories. They are held under the strictest UAC security protocols, so there is no chance of an escape. Citation needed. Well, that's believable. You guys are just... Oh, daggone it! I love that. I think this shotgun is my new best friend. Now that I've actually upgraded it. Oh, yes. Starfield's trademark is 2013, says Mark Riker. All right, promising. Okay, tough. Oh, that was tougher than I thought it would be. That was a tough little guy. Hello, what's this?
And in his terrible rancor between worlds, and through time, the Hellwalker found the wretch who shall not be named, but in his heresy was loyal to his evil cause. The wretch adorned the Doomslayer in a mighty armor, wrought in the forges of hell, impenetrable and unyielding, with sword and shield of adamantine strength. The Doomslayer set to banishing all that were left unbroken by his savagery to the void.
It's the way he says it, you know? You can always tell a good narrator. Oh, yes. Oh, should we maximize health, power, or ammo? Permanently increases maximum ammo capacity. I'm sorry, we gotta do ammo. Gotta get that ammo up there. Oh, right, yeah. This is how it starts. Why did I not upgrade this thing earlier? Oh, you slippery little thing. Okay, before I get that, let me loot. Man, all I did is use my shotgun. I'm so happy. That just makes me pleased. What was it I keep saying? If a shotgun isn't solving all of your problems, you're using it wrong. That's right. Marson says secret. I'm keeping my eyes open. I don't want to miss a secret, but... with all the portals, it's hard to know what I've missed. Let me go back. Ox, that saying would make a great shirt. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should totally make that a shirt. Huh? But you know what? After this broadcast, I'm going to forget it. Bet you. Oh, I can't go back. Oh, okay. I bet you I'll forget it by the time I sit down with my designer to get the shirt made. That it? Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, two, huh? How am I already low on shotgun ammo? There we go. How is this guy still alive? Oh my god. Look at all this BFG ammunition that I'm getting. And I'm not even using it. I just don't even use it. Oh, nasty. Oh, why? Okay. Maybe I should try something else. Okay. That was a good timing. I'm glad I saved it. I totally saved it on purpose. I didn't not even notice it until just recently. That's not how I play. Oh, man. So good at this game. Uh-oh, I hear chanting. That can't be good. Where's over there? Okay, back to my shotgun. I have ammunition again. And we're back here. All of these gears are starting to bother me. What are these gears for? Something in the middle here. Oh no, that's not what I want. Okay. Secrets, that's right, I can distract myself. Let's look for secrets. Oh, there is something back there. Look at that. Looks like I gotta go through a portal first. Okay. Alright, can't avoid it anymore. Let's go. Oh! here. I have 17 health. I have 17 health. Okay. Let's try this again. What? Okay, this is where I was. What do I need to do? There we go. Okay. Let's try something. Okay, if I use my really cool shotgun on the pinkies while jumping around, that's a good use of that ammunition. Then I can use the big weapons on the other guys, okay? Oh yeah. BFG. I have one. Okay. Where's the scotch? There's the scotch.
Yet as the mighty Titan fell, and dread engulfed the armies of doom, the demon priests of the blood temples laid a trap to capture this scourge of hell. Insatiable, even by the vanquishing of the Great One, the Hellwalker sought prey in the tombs of the Blood Keep, and blinded by his fervor, the lure drew him in. The priests brought down the temple upon the Doomslayer, and in his defeat entombed him in the cursed sarcophagus. The mark of the Doomslayer was burned upon his crypt, a warning to all of hell that the terror within must never be freed. There he lies still and evermore in silent suffering.
I'm sure we won't meet him. Okay. Cool. So that's what missiles are for. Hell yep. Oh. What? Is that a skull? Oh, we got like another demon creature skeleton here. Oxy was talking about me? Oh, is that the Doom guy? I was imprisoned in hell? Hello. I should probably use my Praetor token. Oh, I have 6. Oh my. Immune to explosive barrel damage. Increase the total number of equipment charges. What does that mean? Swap weapon mods faster. I don't do a lot of mod swapping. Equipment systems decrease the recharge of duration for equipment. So that's like grenades and stuff, right? Let's do barrels of fun. Then let's do... Oh. Oh yeah, let's do this. They're just giving it to me now. Well, I'm not pleased with the heat blast.
Must not reach the crucible.
What's going on there? Why are they fighting each other? Thank you, Marisol. I do appreciate it. Okay, that's where I go. So I've got a haste there, and apparently I've got a. I got one back. Sweet. Before we lose it. on, come on, come on. Stop, look up. Did I miss something? Oh, dear me. Oh, look. Just a shotty. Man. Shoot the big skull with the rocket, Ox. Okay. I can do that. Whoa! Oh, look at that. Thank you. That's great. What happens if I do it again? That's the only one, right? The skull you shot was the icon of sin, the final boss of Doom 2. Oh. Crab monster! So he's doable. fast. Tricky. I don't know if this is the last boss or not, so should I use all of my Argent cells? my, oh my. Okay. Oh boy. Let's see. Shotgun? Shall we just? Yeah, it's just shotgun. Okay, you're better than the last one. Okay, now the BFG. Everyone is saying I should use the BFG now. Maybe. I got a couple of more tricks up my sleeves. Let's try. All right, now we'll use the BFG. I tried everything else. We'll try the BFG. I'll do it. Why did you grab me by the tongue? Ooh, cool. Alright, well, I used all my BFG ammunition, but I killed them all. It looks like there's still a level after this. That wasn't the end, so it's going to get bigger and badder as we go. Well, that means we can save it for next week. Oh, and I didn't get any of the challenges. Kill a Mancubus with a pistol, kill 2 Keka demons with 1 shot. I only got 2 of the 3 secrets. Laura says, now you have real victory. I got it. Great content, Ox says Sloth. Thank you, Sloth. Okay. We did it. It's 9 o'clock. I have a couple hours of work left to do on my Fallout 2 video, which I'm going to publish on Saturday. And I have a live stream tomorrow morning. We're going to pick up with day 8 of Rage 2. Which should be a lot of fun. So I'm going to have to work to get this done in time, and then I'll meet you tomorrow morning for Rage 2 Day 8. Then tomorrow, after the broadcast, I'm going to work on the next episode, or the first episode, I should say, of Broken Steel. So Fallout 2 and Broken Steel this weekend. Lots of great stuff to look forward to. And tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning, a.m. Pacific time for Rage 2 Day 8. Thanks for joining me, everybody, for Scotch and Smoke Rings and a bit of demon killing and Doom. I'm looking forward to Doom Eternal coming out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, drink something lovely, and then fall asleep to wonderful dreams, and then wake up tomorrow morning refreshed to join me for Rage. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all very soon.